So I was just interviewed by Keith Andrew from KeithAndrewNetwork, and it was exciting. I'm honored that he chose me to interview me and to hear what I say. And it was great. He's such a great guy, and I hope you all listen. Thank you.
For people who want to know what is the Keith Andrew Network, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities that never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. Prove to them it gets them out of something. So hashtag break the labels. Following brought to you by HB Gibson, home of the X Zone. Get in the zone. If you like working out, being in shape, definitely check out Life of a Fighter. If you like anime, definitely check out Anime Adventures. Now the next season, I won't probably be plugging those as much. I may keep one or two, but I just want to finish it up because this is episode 893. That's right, 893. Today we were here as professional upcoming actor. I won't say who, but we will start off with the first question. First question I want to ask is, tell us who you are and how long have you been a professional actor?
Okay, so hi. Thank you, Keith Andrew. This is such an honor to be on your show. I'm excited. A little bit about myself. My name is Pete Dorton. I'm from a small town in Ohio called Pittsburgh, Ohio. Population I would say 500, but now it's 499 because I think I'm the only one that's ever left. So, so now I'm here in New York City. I've been here for 28 years. Obviously, you can hear the traffic noise outside, which is great. Gotta love it. And I've been here as an actor since I moved here in 93.
No, 1993, good year. You know, that's when WWE created Monday Night Raw. That's when Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was out. WrestleMania 9, even though it could have been a lot better, but hey, at least it was outdoors. But
it was exciting times back then.
It was. You know, the one thing about when I get into the late 80s, late 90s, I like to plug certain things. But like I said, this is episode 893. What better way to talk about some of the highlights of 1993? You know, the only ones that I remember I think it was Dinosaurs by Jim Henson, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, WWF Monday Night Raw, and that's really about it. And WrestleMania 9, but not to sound nostalgic or anything. The first question I want to ask you is, what attracted you to begin your career as a professional actor?
Well, growing up on a farm, I lived in a rural part of Ohio, and there wasn't very many things to do. So you had to create your own fun. And I just found myself, trying to be creative as much as possible. And I'd watch a lot of movies, a lot of 80s movies. You know, I'm an 80s kid. And I just fell in love with it. And then when I went to college, I went in as a psych major and thought, oh, I could never do theater. That's just not for me. And I met a girl, and she was in Romeo and Juliet. And I hadn't even read anything Shakespearean or anything. And so I auditioned for Romeo and Juliet, and I got the small role of Peter. And I think I was the nurse's aide or something. And all I said throughout the whole play was, anon, anon. And I fell in love with it. I felt like that was my calling. And then I got my very first professional gig that summer in Xenia, Ohio, with something called Blue Jacket, which was unusual. It's an outdoor drama, no longer, but It was around for years, and it was all about Indians and how they have this huge stage that was outdoors, and we were on horseback and firing muzzle loaders, and of course I played the bad white guy that came in and stole the land and everything, which we know how that turned out. And it was such an incredible experience. We had so much fun. I met so many New York actors, and I realized, you know what, maybe this is my calling. And so that summer after Blue Jacket was finished, I packed everything up and I moved back, I moved from Ohio back to New York. And I've been here ever since. I love it.
No, absolutely. As you said, you were playing a typical, a stereotypical white guy, but hey, American history, you can't sweep 200 years under the rug.
Right, exactly.
But it isn't just about that. You can't look at any other country and say they all have a dark history. No, England, Canada, especially Germany, Japan, no one has a squeaky clean background. So everyone, crap the bed, or in this case, shit the bed one time or another.
Right.
But no one, I wouldn't say it's a learning experience. I would say, people did things, but you learn from it. So I guess in a way, yes, it is a learning experience. But not to talk about politics or anything, but you're supposed to learn from certain events. You're supposed to learn from September 11th. You're supposed to learn from the Spanish flu. Unfortunately, they didn't. And now we have the coronavirus. There's certain things, like the war in Afghanistan. If Alexander the Great was so great, he would have won over there. But he didn't. Everyone who ever went to the Middle East, they failed miserably. There are a bunch of people who live in the freaking Stone Age. And as I said, if you're so great, explain why he didn't win. But not to talk about politics or anything. But the point is, as you said, as we were talking about, history, you're supposed to learn from it, not repeat it. But unfortunately, we're repeating it.
Well, and that's the thing. As an actor, I was a farm kid. I had no idea about method or training or anything. And I just jumped in, and, it was all pretend for me, growing up, because it was just being creative. And once I got into something professional, I realized, yes, I have to go to acting school. Yes, I have to learn my craft. Yes, there are things that I have to do if I want to pursue this. And going back to Blue Jacket, what happened back when settlers came over and took over, was tragic. But as an actor, we're telling these stories. We are showing what happened. So, thank God that we have actors and filmmakers and documentarians to document what happened in the past. So so we can't repeat. But unfortunately, now we see, it keeps happening. But my theory on everything is I try to be a good person on a daily basis, and I try to spread kindness and love every day. And I hope that, just affecting one person will have that butterfly effect where it will affect the world. So that's all we can do. And we have to, as artists, we have to keep creating. And without art, there's nothing, we need art.
I agree with you 100%. Now, the other question I want to ask you is, with everything that you accomplished in your acting career, what has been your greatest achievements as a professional actor?
Well, I mean, I feel like I haven't had that greatest achievement yet, but the closest I've come is I made a short film back in 2017, and it was called Lou. And Lou won a few festivals, and it gave me the opportunity to win Best Actor of a Short at the Chelsea Film Festival back in 2017. So that to me was exciting in itself, and knowing that it was such a passionate project of mine, and for me to get recognition as an actor was the world to me.
But one thing I would say, you almost made me choke on my water, because I wasn't expecting you to say moo, because, you know, if anyone watches the news, moo is the name of the new variant.
No, Lou, 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 yes.
Oh, I heard moo.
Oh, no, sorry, I'm not enunciating. It's Lou, like, Ed Asner's character. What was his name? Lou Grant. Remember Lou Grant from the Mary Tyler Moore Show? It was named Lou after my dog. It was a short film about the day that I tragically lost my dog. And it was very emotional, but it was such a great tribute to my dog.
He's in a better place.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the other question I want to ask you, there's so many different actors in today's world. What makes you different? How do you describe your acting style compared to everyone else?
That's a tough one. I just feel like I'm very naturalistic. I'm just me. What you see is what you get, and you know I can't hide that. You know, I'm not a chameleon. You know, I can't go into a role and disappear. That's just not me. I bring myself to everything that I do. And whether it's good or bad, you know, I mean, it's been working for me so far. And I love that I can just be myself, you know, that means a lot to me.
No, absolutely. You know, the biggest thing is, you know, we've seen actors that disappear for, Heath Ledger is a perfect example. He disappeared and locked himself away for 6 months to get into the role as the Joker. And he is one of the best Jokers, period. He's up there with Mark Hamill. But there's other people that he can flip a light switch and they can jump right into it. But you don't want to be a carbon copy. You want to put your own spin to it. Now, by putting your own spin on it, yes, people may think it's cool, it's different, or it could be complete utter garbage. Right. For an example, look at the Joker, the new Joker that you did in Suicide Squad. Now, he was freaking terrible. But if you look at Heath Ledger, excellent. You look at Jack Nicholson, I can take him or leave him, but he's passable. You look at people like from Gotham, horrible. You can't do the Joker without Batman. I mean, yes, he can do the backstory and he can build up to the moment where he meets Batman, but there's certain storytelling. If you can tell a great story, then you can do that for everyone. If you're just going to say, here I am, I'm a Joker, people are going to be like, what the hell am I watching? I feel like that with my show. You know, a lot of people say, oh, let's legalize marijuana, let's legalize drinking. Well, put a whole new spin on your show. But, you know, it's my show isn't, I try to cater to everyone, you know. I do Disney stuff to cater to the, you know, the kids. I cater to the wrestling audience for professional wrestling. I have interviewed actors. I interview people with and without disabilities. So the Keith Andrew Network brand can be so many things. It can be an entertainment company. It could be a wrestling group. It could be just one of those things that it could be a brand in general, or it could just unfortunately fade away. But you are your brand. It's how you want to represent yourself. You know, there's a line in the Spider-Man movie, no way, or far away from home, or whatever is no way home. And it says, Peter, you're living two different lives, and that's a problem. For me, I'm like, what you see now is Keith Andrew. When what you see walking on the street, that's who I normally am. So doing a show, you're kind of like living two different personalities, but you need to be, as like a professional actor as you are, you need to find that medium that says, I can find the right balance of being both people all the time. Now, do you agree or disagree?
I agree. I feel like, you're talking about the Joker, and I always hear, so many fans of one movie or the other, they argue about it. But when it comes down to it, we're doing art, and art it's in the eye of the beholder. I mean, it's all on how you perceive it. You're going to see something different than I'm going to see. We'll be looking at the same landscape or same performance, and you're going to take away something totally different from me. And to me, that is what's amazing about being a creative person. I feel like if I didn't let that creativity out of me, I would just wither away and die. Like, I have to get it out. And I think when it comes to acting, for me, there's technique, there's, training and everything. And I feel like at the end of the day, you have to bring yourself to it. And everybody's going to bring a different take to it, because we're all unique. This world, that's what's so great about this world, is we're all unique individuals. Nobody is alike. And I think at the end of the day, for us as artists, we have to remember we're going to get bad reviews. We're going to get, critics, not liking us or liking our performances. But if you did your best and you created something from yourself, then that's enough. That's in my book.
No, yeah, I agree with you 100%. Hey, you are your own worst enemy. That's something I am struggling with, because I'm always criticizing. But the biggest thing is, I'm trying to keep it PG, like PG-13.
You don't have to with me. That's okay.
But, it's one of those things where you just walk around with the I don't care attitude. You see, I'm like just a wrestler, CM Punk. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I walk to the beat of my own drum. Occasionally I rub people the wrong way, but sometimes, yes, I do it on purpose. But sometimes that's just my mannerisms. And when you try to please other people, that's when you set yourself up for failure. And you try to say, I'm going to please, people with disabilities. But then you got to piss off everyone else. And then when you try to please, these professional wrestling fans or other people in the entertainment world, then you're going to alienate so many other people. So for me, I try to find the right line that says, you know what? I'm going to walk the line. I'm going to be who I am. Who you see is what you get. And people will accept you and should accept you for who you are. But the biggest thing is, don't try to please people, because that's got to be a losing battle. But the other question I want to ask you is social media, with everything that you accomplish in your life, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, has these platforms helped you develop your career and get yourself out there? Or do you think if you sneeze the wrong way, it can easily ruin anything that you're working on?
I feel like, a lot of people spend a lot of time on social media, and to me, I use social media a lot. I enjoy that I can get my thoughts and my creativity out there. And also, I'm a big proponent of mental wellness. I've suffered from depression for quite a while, and I just recently found some stuff that really has helped me. And it made me realize, that there's a majority of the population that suffers from mental illness. And so I decided to document my daily routine as far as trying to live a healthier lifestyle and, get in shape, lose weight. I've gained a lot of weight, and then the pandemic didn't help, and I just wasn't happy. And so today is day 39, I believe, of my of my record keeping, and it's been amazing. I notice now that I have more stamina. I sleep better. I'm happier. I haven't suffered from depression, and I don't have the anxiety that I used to have. And I think with this, it's because of social media. Social media has helped me get out there. And I've already started getting, those trolls that say the negative things. And I don't know how kids can deal with it, because it stung for me, and I'm an adult, and to have, that negativity. But then at the end of the day, I would get messages from people saying, thank you, you're inspiring me, and for somebody to say that to me as an artist, inspiring them, that's great. But for me personally, to inspire someone, it's kind of embarrassing, because I think, really, how my life's messed up, how could I inspire you? But just touching that one person, it all goes back to what I was saying earlier, the butterfly effect. That might have helped that one person that day, at that moment, feel better about themselves. And maybe they didn't yell at their child that day, or maybe they didn't, slam the door on somebody. Maybe they held the door for somebody. Maybe they passed along, a kind act, so for me, I use social media as a tool to spread kindness and love. And I know it sounds cheesy when I say it, but it's true. Like, why can't we all put positive stuff out there? We see all that negativity on social media, and it's nice sometimes to rant and get out all that angst that you have, but also think about how it's affecting other people. You might be feeling angry or angst ridden, but when you share it on social media, it just goes out, it spreads everywhere. So instead of spreading that, why not spread the kindness and the positivity? So I feel like that's my mission with social media, is to get the word out. And I really want to help with mental wellness, because it's been such a stigma. And that's why I came on today, because I love that you are highlighting people with disabilities, and I hate that word disabilities, because we all are different. We all are unique, like, just because one person can do this and another person can't do that, well, it evens out, the qualities that people have and the abilities. So I feel like there's a movement, of getting awareness out there for disabilities and mental wellness, and people don't have to suffer anymore. People can come out here on social media and talk about these things. It's not hidden and put in the closet or in the dark anymore, like, everything is brought out into the world. And I think that's, everything has to come out into the light, and that's where we're at today. We're starting a revolution, like a mental wellness revolution, or disabilities awareness, or I feel like just starting the conversation is key.
And your dog agrees.
Yeah, my dog, he really agrees with everything. That's a great thing about having a dog. They always agree.
I do have a couple questions for you off the air, but wrapping up, when I first messaged you to be a guest on my talk show, I want you to be brutally honest. What made you say yes? How do you feel now? And what do you recommend to other people?
How did I feel? Okay. I didn't know anything about who you were. And the fact that you mentioned the disabilities, to me, that's what got me. Yes, I watched your past interviews, and you're very good at what you're doing, but I love the fact that you are honest about who you are and what you're struggling with or what you live with. and you're able to come out here and show, hey, look, whatever you want to do in life, you can do it no matter who or what or whatever gets in your way. And to me, that was exciting. I was excited to meet you, and doing the show is just a highlight of it. Like I'm excited to see where you're going. I'm excited to see your journey. And for me, that was part of the excitement of coming on here.
No, absolutely. Now, how can our fans and listeners get in touch with you?
Well, I love that word, fans and listeners. I feel like I don't have fans or listeners, but you can always check out PeteDorton.com. That's my website. Or I'm on Instagram at Pete Dorton. My Facebook is Pete Dorton. Everything is Pete Dorton. So that's my world, the Pete Dorton world. But yeah. And yeah, message me, and if anybody is struggling with mental illness or just struggling with anything in general, reach out to me. I've got 2 good ears. I can listen. I can be there if you need help, because I think that's, at the end of the day, I think that's what we need to focus on with everything that's been happening. It's been really hard for people, and a lot of people feel very alone right now because of the quarantines and everything, and it's still going on. And I think being there for other people and having just your show is great. It gives people a little bit of an escape to hear that they're not the only ones struggling with things. And when people know that they're not alone, I think it really helps.
Oh, absolutely. Now stay tuned for Off the Air. While wrapping up our interview segment for our fans, make sure to like and subscribe to the KeithAndrewNetwork, available on YouTube. Hit the notification icon if you're watching on Facebook. Subscribe, like, leave a comment. We would like to interact with you. We're wrapping up our show. It was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest. And until we meet again, I catch you later.